When a nation goes to war, the enemy is usually a stranger across a battlefield. But during the American Civil War, the enemy was often someone much closer. It was a conflict that literally tore families apart, pitting father against son and brother against brother. They grew up in the same house. They died in different uniforms. This is the heartbreaking story of the Terrill brothers. The Terrill family lived in Virginia. The father, William Henry Terrill, was a prominent lawyer and a staunch Southerner. He had two sons who pursued military careers. The older brother, William Rufus, attended the United States Military Academy at West Point. The younger brother, James, stayed closer to home, attending the Virginia Military Institute. When the Civil War erupted in 1861, Virginia seceded from the Union. The family faced an impossible choice. The father expected both of his sons to fight for the Confederacy, defending their home state. And they fought well.
James immediately joined the Confederate Army, but William refused. He had sworn an oath to the United States Constitution.
The decision caused an absolute fracture in the family.
His father was enraged. He told William that if he fought for the North, his name would be stricken from the family records forever. William left Virginia, knowing he might eventually face his own brother on the battlefield.
The war was far more brutal than anyone anticipated. William proved to be a highly effective artillery commander for the Union. He fought brilliantly at the Battle of Shiloh. His cannons devastated the Confederate lines, securing a crucial victory for the North. Meanwhile, his younger brother James was earning a reputation for exceptional bravery in the Confederate infantry.
Charge! For Virginia! Give them everything!
He was rapidly promoted, becoming a respected leader in General Lee's Army of Northern Virginia. They were both rising stars. But the brothers never spoke again. In October 1862, William's Union forces clashed with Confederate troops at the Battle of Perryville. It was a vicious, confused fight in the dry hills of Kentucky. William's line was collapsing under heavy Confederate fire. Retreat!
Move it!
He refused to retreat. While desperately trying to rally his men, an artillery shell exploded near him.
Men, rally! Hold your ground! Don't let them through!
A piece of shrapnel tore through his chest. He was mortally wounded. He was carried from the field to a field hospital. He died later that night, at the age of 28. When the news reached his father in Virginia, the response was chillingly silent. He refused to claim the body. He refused to acknowledge the death. William was buried in a military cemetery in Kentucky, entirely separated from his family. The war ground on for 2 more agonizing years. In May 1864, it was James's turn. Now commanding a brigade, James was tasked with an incredibly dangerous assault. He led a desperate charge against heavily entrenched Union positions.
Keep moving, men! Let's go!
He concluded his spectacular run with an unforgettable, high-energy flourish. With a heart full of peace, he embraced a beautiful moment of rest under the bright sky. Unlike his brother, James's body was recovered and brought back to his family in Virginia. His father, who had disowned one son for his politics, was now completely broken. Both of his boys were gone. The politics of the war suddenly lost all meaning. After the war ended, the father erected a monument in the family plot. Even though William was buried miles away, his father placed his name right next to James. Beneath their names, he carved a single, tragic sentence. God alone knows which was right. The Civil War fractured countless families. High-ranking generals often fought against their former classmates and closest friends. Even the White House was intimately touched by this division. President Abraham Lincoln's own wife, Mary, had multiple brothers fighting and dying for the Confederacy. She was frequently accused of treason by the Northern press, simply because of her Southern family. The Crittenden brothers of Kentucky reached the rank of Major General, one for the North, one for the South. They both commanded troops at the Battle of Shiloh, dangerously close to facing each other directly. The war forced men to shoot at uniforms without knowing who was inside them. Mothers waited for casualty lists, knowing a victory for one son meant a defeat for the other. For 4 years, the nation systematically destroyed itself from the inside out. Over 600,000 Americans died. When the guns finally fell silent in 1865, the survivors had to return home. They had to look across dinner tables at the very people they had been trying to kill. Many families never reconciled. The political wounds were far too deep. The physical scars of the war faded with time. But the emotional ones remained. Some divides can never be bridged. If these stories matter to you, help us keep them alive.